What is the most badass thing a private has said to a general? I was there when Private Danny Walsh made a 3-star general question his entire career. This was Iraq, 2004, during the worst of the insurgency. Our forward operating base had been taking mortar fire for weeks. Random attacks, no pattern, driving everyone crazy. Command kept sending out patrols, but we never found the launch sites. General Morrison flew in for an inspection. Big shot from the Pentagon, never been downrange before. Wanted to see how we were handling the terrorist threat. He gathered us in the mess tent for a briefing, started talking about how we needed to be more aggressive, take the fight to the enemy, show them American resolve. The problem with you soldiers, he said, is you're not thinking outside the box. These insurgents are cowards hiding behind civilians. We need to flush them out. Private Walsh raised his hand. Kid from Detroit, 18 years old, been in country for 8 months. Seen more combat than most career officers. General looked annoyed. What is it, Private? Sir, with all due respect, have you ever been shot at by mortars while taking a dump? The tent went dead silent. Officers started shifting in their seats. This was career suicide. General's face turned red. Excuse me, soldier? Walsh stood up, completely calm. Because that happened to me yesterday, sir, and last week, and pretty much every day since we got here. Your point, Private? My point is, we know exactly where those mortars are coming from. Same 3 locations every time. But every time we request permission to engage, we get told to wait for higher approval. The general looked confused. That's proper protocol. Sir, while we're waiting for approval, they pack up and move. By the time we get clearance, they're gone. Then they hit us again from the same spots 3 days later. Walsh pulled out a notebook. Kid had been tracking every attack for months. Times, locations, patterns, everything. If you really want us to take the fight to them, sir, give us permission to return fire immediately. Not in 6 hours after it goes through division headquarters. The general studied Walsh's notes. You could see the wheels turning. This private had done more intelligence analysis than his entire staff. What's your recommendation, soldier? Counter battery fire, sir. Soon as we get incoming, we light up their positions. They'll stop real quick when they start taking casualties instead of just giving them. General looked at our battalion commander. Why hasn't this been implemented? Rules of engagement require. Change them, the general interrupted. Effective immediately. He turned back to Walsh. Anything else, Private? Yes, sir. Those body armor plates you issued us? They're defective. Ceramics cracking on impact. Lost 2 guys last month because their plates failed. This was news to everyone. Walsh had been collecting damaged plates, documenting serial numbers, building a case. I've been trying to get someone to listen for weeks, sir. My squad leader says it's above his pay grade. Company commander says take it up with supply. Supply says they're manufacturer certified. The general was furious now, but not at Walsh. At his own command structure. Get me the supply officer, now. Within an hour, our entire stock of body armor was replaced. New plates, new carriers, everything. Came out of the general's emergency discretionary fund. The mortar attacks stopped completely after we got clearance for immediate counterfire. Turns out Walsh was right. Soon as we started shooting back, they found easier targets. But the real moment came as the general was leaving. Walsh was pulling guard duty at the gate. General's convoy stopped. He walked over to Walsh's position. Private, you probably saved a dozen lives today, maybe more. Just doing my job, sir. No, son. You did everyone else's job too. That takes guts. The general reached into his pocket, pulled off his own bronze star, pinned it on Walsh's uniform. Sometimes the best intelligence comes from the guys getting shot at. I forgot that. Won't happen again. Walsh got promoted to corporal the next week, made sergeant before his tour ended. General Morrison started a new policy requiring monthly meetings with enlisted soldiers. 6 months later, I heard Morrison telling another general about the private who taught him how to listen. That's the thing about real leadership. It doesn't care about rank structure when lives are on the line. And sometimes an 18-year-old from Detroit knows more about winning wars than 3-star generals from the Pentagon. Walsh saved our entire deployment with one conversation. Proved that courage isn't just about facing the enemy. Sometimes it's about facing your own command structure and telling them they're wrong. Most badass thing I ever heard wasn't some movie one-liner. It was a private with a notebook full of facts telling a general how to do his job and being right about every damn word.